So we will start with an address, a philosophy. I think that's an important part as well, because we can all take something from that. And I will start by saying, to the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. It's very Zen, that statement. Very Zen indeed. But there's so much truth in it. To the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. Because there's that much clutter in our minds at times, as we say, the monkey mind, the mind that chatters on to us, the mind that is kind of there at the forefront, the conscious mind that at times almost acts as a barrier to going within and finding the real us within. If you listen to the reading, it actually said, and I just made a note of it, within us, the spirit truths straight from his Father God, that Jesus said. And we have Father God in us as well. We have the Christ in us, we have Father God in us, and those truths are within us, inside of us. If we can find them, if we can go inside to find them there, rather than letting the world tell us what to think. Because if we don't know what to think, the world will tell us, gratefully will tell us what to think. And when you do think about it, a lot of the time, a lot of what we do, how we grow up, how we learn things, we're told what to think and not how to think for ourselves, how to feel for ourselves, how to find that essence within us. It was Rumi that said, you're not a drop in the ocean, you're the whole ocean in a drop. You've got everything inside of you, the whole universe inside of you. Just a technical hitch there. I hope you can still hear me. My earphones unplugged. So I'm hoping you can still hear me, and I'm sure you'll tell me if you can't. So what I was saying is we've got the whole... Thank you. We've got the whole universe inside of us there to access. But we've got this almost like the barriers that are placed there, that we place there, that kind of prevent us finding ourselves, the many distractions. And we used to find ourselves at times in them little quiet places, or when we had nothing to do, when we sit on a train, perhaps, or sit on a bus, and our minds would wander. Even when we stand in a queue, sometimes our minds would wander, and we'd kind of, I'm going to say, go within. Your brave ways change from beta to alpha. And that's when you start becoming more receptive to things. You get a better and deeper understanding, rather than what's just going on in the outside world around you. But very often now, we seem to be uncomfortable with that time. And I've done it myself. The phone comes out straight away, and we start looking at the phone, or if it's at home, perhaps the tablet or whatever. And those times when we would, I'm going to say, connect to God's Wi-Fi, those times we spend it connected to our own Wi-Fi in the house, or to Google. And when we want an answer to something, we tend to, instead of, how do we feel about this? How do I feel about this? How does it feel to me? I'm going to just, I'll Google it and see what somebody else says. And we do that such a lot. And then because somebody says it, we take it, well, that must be right. But sometimes, and I'm sure you'll understand this with me, sometimes things just don't seem to fit. There's a feeling within us where things, yeah, I know somebody's saying that, but that doesn't fit totally with me. Or sometimes you understand that something does fit with you. And then what we tend to do is, and it makes sense really, seek confirmation. Seek confirmation outside so that we can believe what we're thinking is right. And I can understand that element of it. But a lot of it is getting used to finding that element of God within us, that universe within us, that knowledge within us. And, and there's more to it than just thinking, it's feeling as well. It's like when you experience something, when you experience a piece of music that you like, that means something to you, ultimately it's just is it 5 lines on a sheet of music and notes on them? If you look at it like that, it's nothing really, whichever order they put in. But when that music plays, sometimes when that music plays, it kind of reaches inside of you. It doesn't reach into the head, it reaches into the heart. You kind of hear it with your heart, with your soul, with that very essence that's you, where there's no noise, there's no clutter. And the mind will try and distract us, of course it will, but we feel it. We feel it almost reverberating, the energy almost blending with our energy. And we almost become the dance, we almost become the music. What a lovely way to live your life. We can either dance through it, or we can latch onto negativity. I say let's dance through it. Let's listen to the music with our hearts. Let's feel it. When we see a beautiful sunset, of course we see it with our eyes. Of course we do. But we feel it with our hearts somehow. And any words that are used to describe it, however picturesque, however beautiful, however capturing, they're just a small part of the experience that we feel within, that we experience, that we almost there with it, that beauty that's there, that beauty when the outside world can be quiet, where the thoughts in our head become silent, when we just listen at the side of a brook, of a stream, and just hear it just singing away, chattering away to us. And of course, people understand this. People understand the effect that it has on us, because that's why we buy water features. That's why they sell them, because they understand the effect that this has on us, this feeling that we get within that's just far deeper than the thoughts that come with it. To the mind that is still, if you can find that stillness, even if you can find it just for a minute or two, just for a few seconds at first, then all the answers are there. All the answers are in that silence. That's where we find God. We don't find God on the TV. In here, in a very inside of us, and we know it, and we know it, and we're aware of it, and we feel it. But as I say, some of the distractions take us away from it. They used to know it probably more in the past because they would sit, because the telly wasn't what it is now with the TV. They would sit and do physical mediumship for years till things started happening. They had the patience then. But now we're just far too busy, most of us, for things like that. And I include myself in that as well. But it doesn't stop us, even in busy lives, it doesn't stop us sometimes just finding 5 minutes, just 10 minutes to enter that silence. Perhaps the next time we're somewhere on our own and it's quiet, sitting on a bus, sitting on a train, in the back of a taxi or whatever. Just think, when the hand goes to the phone to pick it up and check what we've already checked, we might just let our mind wander for a minute and just see where it goes. So remember, powerful words: to the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders. Thank you.